This is another of the projects from the Christmas Fabazine, and this is the Advent Calendar. Now, I hope you can see this properly because it's very, very bright here this morning, so we're getting quite a lot of light coming across it. But it is essentially one big long panel, and as you can see, I've got some creases in here. Now, the creases you need to put in because as you fold these back on themselves, they effectively make the pockets for the Advent Calendar. So if I just do the last couple, there you go, and the last one there. Now, when you crease these all up, you need to leave a little bit of space at the top, and let me just turn it sideways on because I think we can see better that way. You need a little bit of space at the top and you need a little bit of space at the bottom, and that's so you can either choose to back this or you can choose to bind it to finish it off. It's up to you how you wish to do that. So once it's all folded and pressed in like that, then the last thing we're going to do is to stitch down either side of these to create the pockets. So heat erasable marker is great for this. I apologise for all the tweeting you can hear in the background. This is Etty, who is my baby duck, but if I leave it in the kitchen, all hell breaks loose. So I will take a ruler, probably a longer ruler than this, and just mark in evenly in between these squares with a heat erasable marker, and then I'll stitch straight lines up all of those lines, and you need to stitch either end as well just to make sure that you've got all of your pockets secured. So I'll take this to the machine, I'll go ahead and stitch those, and I'll be back with you in a second to show you how to finish it off. Okay, I'm back from the sewing machine. I've done all of my straight lines. One top tip for this that I will give you is put plenty of pins in, because what you don't want is it to gradually kind of get a bit wider here as you work your way across. And I would always sew so you're coming down on top of the pockets, because if you come through your machine the other way like this, it's easier because you're on a flat bit and your top of your foot is always going to be nice and flat. But what may happen is your bottom bits here, because it's going against the grain of the feed dogs, may curl over. So I would always recommend going down this way, because obviously you can see what you're doing, you can keep an eye on these bits as you go. So that's it all together. The next step is you've got a choice of binding it or backing it, and that's up to you how you want to do it. If you want to bind it, then you can just pop binding either side all the way around to finish it off. If you want to back it, then I've just got a scrap piece of fabric here which I can cut to the same size and then sew all the way around to back it. But either way, it might be that you want to hang it up as well. If you want to hang it up, then you're going to need a piece of tape or ribbon the same width as the panel itself, and then what you're going to do is just place it there on the same width, and then halfway up number one pocket we're going to just flip that up and pin that in place, and then the same at pocket number 6, flip it up and pin it in place. And then when we either put the binding on or put the backing on, that will be able to flip up and we'll be able to hang it up for you. So I'm going to go ahead and just stitch that backing on, and then we are done. Okay, I've stitched all the way around the outside, and I've got a couple of little threads to snip off there, but my last job is to just add a little bit of top stitching along here. So for this you have to be quite neat, and you have to be within this edge here, because obviously you don't want to stitch your pockets shut, so you just need to be a little bit quite neat and quite close to the edge for this one. Obviously you can leave a little bit more. I would try and go on top of my lines of stitching that have come down here across the bottom, just to seal the little hole up that we left to turn it right side out, and then your little advent calendar is complete and ready to add your treats into. Now, I was looking for the treats, but I may have consumed a few of them. So let me just start popping some of these into here. You can see it does take some, it's perfect for the kind of big bags and boxes of sweets to fill it with those, because the pockets are an absolutely perfect size for those. So there you go, your advent calendar is complete.